Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Thiesel, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show, where truth matters. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, from 1 to 3 p.m. Central, as we get to talk with each other and discuss different topics. Truth does matter, and I wanted to also mention you can find us on television, channel 182, on Charter Communications and Abundant Television, which is found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Don't forget the podcast. We're now on the newscasters.com, thenewscasters.com. If you would like to send an email with any topic whatsoever, and if you'd like for me to do a little research for you, I'll be glad to do that. My email address is donna@donnasedge.com. Doesn't bother me at all. I love research. The older I get, the more I know I don't know. So it's a lot of fun to do. I wanted to talk to you today about rose water. And Emily wanted me to send some information. She had heard me say I make a lot of stuff, and rose water is just one of them. I made it in some great big huge containers, and you need to keep this in the refrigerator. Now, this bottle right here, I'll probably use it up before 6 months, but this will last in the refrigerator for 6 months, and it's really good, and it smells good. It's got a very good aroma to it, and you can use it in your hair, you can use it on your face, you can drink it if you want to. It's all natural. So I'm going to show you a couple of videos and let you see exactly how I made this. We'll be right back in just a minute. They're short videos. Okay, so I'm out in the garden right now, and so I'm actually gathering rose petals, and I'm trying to do this before we get the first frost. We're supposed to get a frost around Wednesday or maybe even Thursday of this coming week. So I want to gather the roses and make rose water out of them before the frost gets to it, and it's this easy. Look, that's all you do, because these are just the right size, and by the way, you don't want to get any that have any disease on them. They need to be as pretty and they need to be as clear as possible. Now you can use any rose, it doesn't matter what kind. Any rose will work, but I like using the red roses. It just gives it a more beautiful, vibrant color. And so this is step number one. Gather the roses. Step number two is going to be putting these in some water. And now I'm always gathering more than what the recipe calls for. It calls for 2 cups, but I want more because I want a more rich color. And you use this. Now you can make a tea out of it, which is good. Another thing you can do is use it for your face. I like it around my face. You know, that's what the Egyptian women did back in the day. Cleopatra and some of them, they used natural products for their skin care. And now you can find, there are ways you can make rose water. You can use essential oils, but the only thing about the essential oils, it does last longer. But the only thing about there's a bee right there, he's living these roses. But the only thing about the essential oils is they're not edible. Okay, so I can actually do 2 things here. I can go ahead and use the rose petals. Then I can also make a simple syrup out of it. And we could be drinking rose tea all winter long. So I'm really excited about this. And now I'll also be gathering, before that frost hits, I got a bunch of flowers I need to do something with. So I'm going to get this right here. And I have an app that's picture this. So what I can do is I'll go ahead and put this through the app. And I'll let you watch me do that as well. And I'll put this in, I'll be able to see exactly what kind of flower this is, and if this is something that I can already know, but we're going to go through this together. So then we're going to be able to see what kind of flower this is, and if it's edible, or if it's something that you can use in skincare. And that's what I like about the app. It gives you so much information. Like if like in the app, using, according to my recipes that I use, that's how I found out that if you use the essential oil is quicker, and it actually lasts longer if you don't can it. Of course, I'll be canning mine. Look at that bee. I just love being out here. But the only problem is we get that frost and it's going to get rid of all these pretty flowers. So again, that's why I'm out here right now gathering them before it hits. Okay, I'll be seeing you guys a little bit later. So it's such a fun thing. I mean, having your own flowers and, and then digging in them, growing your own vegetables, all those things that you can do that are so natural and so good for your skin and so good for your body as well. Before we go into the next video, and it's less than two minutes. Before we do that, let's begin talking about the benefits of rose water, okay, and what it is. First of all, rose water, you can put it on your skin as long as it doesn't have chemicals in it and that kind of thing. And it's something you've raised in your own flower garden. It soothes skin irritation. It soothes sore throats, which is what I like it for. Because of the asthma, reduces skin redness, helps prevent and treats infections. It contains antioxidants. It also heals cuts, scars, and burns. It enhances your mood. I'm going to tell you, nothing makes you feel better than smelling a nice rose. Relieves headaches, has anti-aging properties, and it soothes digestive problems. It forms in doses, and we're going to talk about how to use it. So before we get started with the next video, though, I did want to just read this to you. And, one of my favorite websites is healthline.com. It's a legit website, so you're getting the correct information there. Rosewater offers a range of potential benefits from tension relief to soothing skin, and we just talked about some of those. You can apply it topically to your feet, to your skin. You can spray it around you, or you can ingest it. And I'll tell you something I like to do, because I don't wear a whole lot of perfume, because a lot of people can't take anything chemically, and so what I like to do is spray it and then walk into it, and then that way it kind of gets on my clothes, and it's just a good smell. And you can put it all over your skin, by the way, after you wash your face, and we'll talk about that a little bit later in the segment as well. After you wash your face, apply some of this rose water on your face. And it kind of works as an astringent, and it also has healing properties, just like I mentioned just a few seconds ago. Wait a few seconds, let it get into your skin. Doesn't take long. Then you can apply your moisturizer and go to bed and get a good night, restful sleep. We'll be right back in just a minute. Here's another video. Okay, so now we are in step two. Step two, we just went outside, and look at all those beautiful rose petals we have. And I wanted to point out something else to you. They need to be completely clear of any brown spots. So there's one right there. The rest of the petal is fine. I'm just going to tear that part off. Okay, so I left that one for you to see. Now what I want to do is wash these. And I'm going to use my cold water. And I don't want to put a full force on it, so I have this little gadget, it's pretty handy right here, you can click, and see it just kind of sprinkles it. And that way I'm not harming, I'm not bruising these rose petals. I've got them in a colander, which I like to do, and I wanted to get them damp just as soon as possible. See how easy that is? And then you want to get your hands and just kind of turn them over, like that. Now, I'm going to be using distilled water when I put these in the pot, in the stock pot. So there's a little spider. We're going to get rid of the spider. Where's he at? Get spider. He was one of the friendly ones. He's a good spider to keep on. So we're going to kill him. And there we go again. This is that sunshine coming in through the window. I'll tell you what I'm going to be missing this time of the year. But there are things you can do in the wintertime as well. If you like growing things, this is what I'd like to do. Okay. That's basically it. Alright, folks. I'll see you in just a few minutes for the next step. Amazing, right? And those petals are so soft to the touch. And you'll see at the very end of the video what they look like when this rose water, by the way, is distilled. And another thing I wanted to mention to you, if sunflowers are your favorite flower, whatever your favorite flower is, you can distill it. And you can make any kind of water out of any kind of flower that you like. And I'm going to go into another video probably next show, and we'll be talking about how to identify flowers and the types that you can use on your skin and the types not to use on your skin, but roses is definitely one of them. Now, rose water is created by distilling rose petals with steam. Now, you saw how I had all the rose petals. By the way, be gentle with them as you're washing them, okay? They bruise very easily. We bruise them a little bit later. The steam actually does that for you. Now, rose water is fragrant and is sometimes used as a mild, natural fragrance as an alternative to chemically filled perfumes, which I can't do because of my asthma. And I don't know, it's just nice breathing something natural anyway, other than anything filled with a chemical. Now, rose water has been used for thousands of years, including in the Middle Ages. It's thought to have originated from what is now Iran. It's been used traditionally in both beauty products, food, and drink products. It also comes with plenty of potential health benefits, including helping smooth your skin irritations. One of the greatest benefits of rose water is its strong anti-inflammatory properties. These properties can help treat multiple ailments, both internal and external. It may even help soothe the irritation of eczema and rosacea. Another thing before we go into the third video I wanted to mention to you is you can make a tea out of this. Now, if you make a tea out of it, what you need to do is make a sugar water. And I'll mention that to you. I'll make a special note, and I'll mention that to you in just a few minutes before we leave this particular segment. I'll be right back in just a minute. Okay, so what we're going to do, we have the rose petals are completely washed, and for the most part they're drained. They don't have to be completely drained or dry, okay, because we want to keep a little moisture in them until I'm ready to go ahead and do this. So this is the distillation method of rose water. It's going to last longer, and what happens is I'm going to put a lid on top of this, but before I do that, I want a bowl like this right here. Okay, it's got to be something that can take heat. This is an old Pyrex that I use. Phil's oatmeal is made out of this every morning in the microwave oven, so I know it's going to hold the heat. So what I'm going to do at this point is put these rose petals, as many as I can, in this bowl. Okay, I'm going to kind of mash them down in there. And some of them can fall around the bottom and around the sides of this. It doesn't matter. I just don't want them under the bowl. Okay, so I kind of want them like this. Now what I'm going to do is add enough water. Now I've got the distilled water is best, but you can use anything out of the sink. My sink's fine. So I'm going to go ahead and put some water, but now all I want to do is barely cover it. Let's go ahead and fix this where it sprays instead of just like goes crazy in there. So what I'm going to do is put just enough water in here to cover. Yeah, there we go. I want just enough in here just to cover the rose petals. Okay. We just don't want any of them to get stuck under the bowl. Okay, just a little bit more water, and we're going to be okay. So I'm going to use this again on my face, and probably a few friends are going to get some of these for Christmas presents as well. This is better than anything you could possibly buy. So we want the petals just to be submerged, okay? So I'm adding more water. Again, I'm careful not to bruise them by using the water like this, okay? Okay, we're getting close to it. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a lid, and I'm going to place the lid upside down on the pot. Then I'm going to put some ice cubes. It's going to take about a cup of ice cubes, something like that. Okay, that's about just a little bit more in there. They're not completely submerged. This is going to be a more concentrated version right here of rose water. Now you can get this in a bottle, and you can spray it on your face after you completely wash your face, and you put your moisturizer on your skin after you do that. A little bit more water, I think. Like a spider in. I'm going to save him, so I'm putting him right here. Alright. There we go. Now when I put the lid on top of it, I'll put some ice cubes. I'll have to kind of keep an eye on it. And I'll put some ice cubes on top of the lid. And what that's going to do while it's boiling, it's going to cause condensation. I'm pretty sure I'm not pronouncing that right. there will be kind of a, how can I say this? Okay, it'll kind of sweat. And that's what you want it to do. And then what we're going to do is cook this. I'll turn the heat down to very low, and we're going to simmer it for 30 to 45 minutes. Then what we'll do is remove the lid. It needs to set and become room temperature. We don't want it hot, anything like that. Now I'll have to heat it up again because I'm going to can some of it. And I'm going to make a sugar syrup out of it as well. So none of these petals are going to go to waste. It's going to be a beautiful color because I used the red roses here, okay? All right, so on to the next step. Now for this recipe, I used more rose petals than what the recipe called for. Of course, when I make chocolate chip cookies, instead of 1 cup of chocolate chips, I always do 2 cups. I always overdo everything. But I just like the fragrance of it, and I like the properties of the roses. So let's talk about this. We talked about how rose petals and rose tea and then spray on rose, whatever you want to call it, does help soothe skin irritation. Okay, rosacea is one of those. Now, number 2, and this is according to Healthline.com, and I totally believe it because that's what I use these things for, soothes sore throats. So doctors often prescribe antibiotics for sore throats, but you may want to try rose water as well. Now, rose water has traditionally been used to soothe sore throats. While research is needed to prove its effectiveness, not everybody, everybody that I know that's used it loves it. There's strong evidence to support it and very little risk in trying it. So, I mean, again, it's a natural product. Now, again, I'm going to stress this. Do not use roses that have been sprayed with insecticide, okay? Not even for your face, even if you're not going to ingest it. It's just not a good thing to do. I don't like chemicals and what they stand for, okay? All right, now, number 3, let's talk about this one. And it reduces skin redness. We kind of talked about that just a couple minutes ago, but rose water has been used as a beauty product for just thousands of years. So it's no surprise that it can improve your complexion and reduce skin redness. The antibacterial properties may reduce acne as well. Well, I wish I'd had this back when I was a teenager. My brother used to say we could play connect the dots on my face. I had so many pimples. The anti-inflammatory properties can reduce skin redness and puffiness as well. So I have a friend who had a facelift, and so she asked me what I thought about, now this is back when we were living in Charlotte. This has been like, I don't know, 15 years ago. And so she had a facelift, and she wanted to know what I thought about using rose water. When the doctor had actually mentioned it, rose water, after, and it was like a full face. So he cut her all the way here and all the way down behind here and lifted up her skin. And she was having a lot of redness, but now she was also a runner and a jogger. She was real healthy, and always exercising and that kind of thing. And I told her, I said, well, it's natural. Just, make sure you buy it from someone. And that's before I was making it. I was just making it for myself. I wasn't selling it at that point. And so I said, if you'll just, find someone who is just a health nut like you and I are, and buy it from them, and make sure now that it hasn't had any insecticides on it to kill pests or anything like that. Now, if you've got a healthy plant, you won't have to use all that stuff anyway. So anyway, just make sure of that. Okay, number 4, it helps prevent and treats infections. Okay, so rose water has powerful antiseptic properties which can prevent and treat infections. Because of this, rose water is often included in a variety of natural and medicinal treatments. One study even found that when rose water was used in eye drops to treat conjunctivitis cases, and I'm going to spell that for you. I'm pretty sure I butchered that word up really good. Conjunctivitis cases. It's antiseptic and anti properties, helping in treating the ocular disease. That's really interesting right there. Let's do number 5, and then I have another video I want to let you look at. And this is, again, we're going over the process of making rose water. Number 5 contains antioxidants. We all hear about all the things that provide antioxidants. You'll hear about blueberries, blackberries, all of those things. Rose petals and rose oil contain a number of powerful antioxidants which can help protect cells from damage. One study found that these antioxidants have potential lipid peroxidation inhibitory effects. This provides, to make a long word short, this provides powerful cell protection as a result. Let's go ahead and take a look at video number 4, and we'll be right back. Okay, so this is another step to the process. So what I've done, I have this sitting on my stove eye, and what we did just a few minutes ago, when we put just enough water in there, just enough to barely cover these rose petals. So what I'm going to do, the recipe actually calls for adding a lid. I'm not going to add a lid because my lids are not shallow enough. So what I have is I bake my pecan pies in this thing right here and I like it because it sticks up about 2 inches, and that's what I need, because if I put the lid that came with the stock pot, it would not hold the ice cubes. So what I'll do now, because we want this thing to cause, it's going to be like distilled, okay, distillation, kind of like when people make beer. I don't make beer, but anyway, I've seen plenty of videos on how you do it. And so this is the old-fashioned method, and what you do is put ice in top of it. So you can see now why the lid just wouldn't work. So as this thing starts coming to a boil, I've got to keep a good eyeball on it, so because I don't want it to boil over, and it will. But anyway, with the ice cubes on here, and I'm going to feel it. See, it's not even hot yet. It's nowhere near. I'm touching the bowl right here. But I'll be able to hear it when it starts boiling. So when this thing starts boiling, it's going to be ready to cook for another about 45 minutes is what I like to do. Now you can do 30 to 45. The longer you boil it, the stronger it's going to be. And I want it to be really super strong. Okay, I'm going to be back in a few minutes with another segment about what we're going to do, okay? Y'all hang in there. So what's happening there is as the water is boiling, and by the way, you want to start out slow, okay, and let it get to a slow boil. So as it's boiling, what happens is that ice, I don't use a regular lid for this. It's something like I just set up there, like an old pie plate, works really well. And just set it on top. And now I like to use metal because it seems to sweat a little better. And then you put the ice on it, and as this is boiling, it's causing the sweat effect down into the pan. And basically what's happening is the leaves or the flowers, the rose petals, are sweating, and you're not breaking them up with your fingers, and it's causing a breakdown instead by using the sweat and the heat. They're sweating, and they're sweating a lot so that you can have perfect skin. Okay, let's get to, we talked about antioxidants. Let's talk about number 6, heals, cuts, scars, and burns. Now, rose water has antiseptic and antibacterial properties that help wounds heal faster. These properties can help clean and fight off infection of cuts and burns. They can also help cuts, burns, and even scars heal faster. And you can tell that with my hands. I play with metal. My hands look like the oldest part of my whole body because I just beat them up. I still wash my hands. I still wash dishes by hand. You know, this is a crazy thing I do. And so, because I just think they're cleaner. And I use hot water. And now I use Dawn dishwashing detergent because it's a little more gentle for my hands. But I keep, my knuckles are completely beat up all the time because I'm always working out in the greenhouse as well. And I don't know, I just like to play with metal and stuff like that. And that can cause havoc. So what I like to do, you can see I've got just a little bit of a cut right there. So I'm going to go ahead and spray some of my rose water on there. And it's so soothing. It feels so good. You know something, you don't even, oh, it smells heavenly. You don't even have, and it doesn't burn, by the way. A lot of things you use that are antiseptic, when you spray it on there, you're looking for water to put your hand in because it burns like crazy. You don't have to worry about it burning, okay? And it just feels good and it's soothing. You don't have to keep it in the water in the refrigerator, but I like to keep mine in the refrigerator. And again, it's going to last longer, and it feels so good. It's soothing when you spritz it on your face after you've had a long day at work. picking up kids and all those kinds of things, cooking supper, and it's got to be some time for you, okay? Spend at least 10 minutes and spend some time with you with some rose water. There are plenty of people that are really good and they sell it and they know what they're doing when they're making it. I'm one of them, by the way. Let's go into a commercial break. We're going to return in just a few minutes. We'll be right back. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Jeff McCurdy of the McCurdy Law Firm has been a public service of this area for over 10 years. McCurdy, a member of the Henniger City Council, serves as prosecutor for the town of Sylvania and was named public defender for the city of Rainsville. The McCurdy Law Firm is located at 17326 Alabama Highway 75 in Henniger to better represent his Jackson and DeKalb County clients. If you need to be represented by a true public servant with proven success, call Jeff at 256-996-8701 or send a private email to mccurdylawfirm@gmail.com. No representation is made that the legal services performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers.
My Towels solved a problem that we've all had with towels. You go into the stores and they feel lotiony and soft, but then you get them home and they wind dry you. That's why I made My Towels. They actually work, they're soft, and they absorb. And now I'm excited to announce 2 brand new lines of My Towels. What makes them the best towels ever is they're now made with 100% long staple Shapir cotton. This is a combed ring-spun cotton that makes My Towels even softer and more absorbent than ever. And now you get a 6-piece set for an amazing introductory sale price as low as $29.98. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get My Towels for only $29.98. Or you can get my designer premium line for just $20 more. Either way, you save 50% now on all My Towels. They actually work. What a concept. This offer won't last long, so please order now.
MyPillow.com.
The only place I buy my beef is Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama. Their cattle is born and raised on their ranch, grass and grain fed, and you can feel confident when you serve your family and friends because their beef is all natural and no antibiotics or hormones are added. You can buy whole beef or perhaps go in with family or friends and buy half. Their customer service is number one as they take care of the delivery to their local processor and can deliver to your home for a small added fee. They also offer herd replacement heifers. I always call Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama for my beef specialty recipes and cookouts, and you can too. Food shortages are increasing, so buy local by calling 256-523-6462. That's 256-523-6462. Okay, we're back. My name is Donna, and I am your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show, where truth matters. Thank you so much for watching us every day, Monday through Friday from 1 to 3 p.m. Central, and we share information together because truth really does matter. In this day and time, you want to hear something that's all about the truth, and I don't blame you. I do too. You can find us different ways. You can find us on YouTube, all the social media sites, including Facebook. I have 4 different pages on Facebook. You can catch us there as well. Another way you can find us is on the radio, icradio.media. You can find us that way. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, and Abundant Television, which is found on Roku, Apple TV, and by Amazon Fire. And all MeWe, all of those, you can find us there as well. Again, thank you so much for watching. We're talking about rose water and the qualities of rose water. It's a nice, refreshing. Now, you can add other fragrances in here. If you're not really into roses, you can find some essential oil, whatever your favorite is. Sandalwood smells really good in this. And if you wanted to put a little bit of lemon verbena smells good. Lemongrass, even orange smells real good with roses. Now the color of this, you're going to see this in the last video. So the color in this is going to be a dark pink. Now remember this, when you're making your rose water, any rose will do. Okay, any of them, any color, whatever. They all smell good. But most customers like the color of the red because it turns a really hot, dark looking pink. White rose is not going to have a color to it at all. But I don't want to add anything. If I had food coloring in there, well, then I've disrupted the whole process. And it's not all natural anymore. I'm sure that there are some all natural ones. You could use cocoa. If you would like kind of a brownish looking color, cocoa's natural. You have to make sure you get the natural one. And so you can do that as well. I could just sit here and smell this all day. It smells so, so good. Go to this website, healthline.com. It's healthline.com, and you'll find the health benefits and the uses of rose water. One of those we started out that helps soothe skin. Before we went into a commercial break, let's see this little thing right here. I think I did it in the greenhouse. It just got a little scrubby mark right there, and it just feels good. And again, I can use it every 2 seconds if I want to. It doesn't matter. It's all natural. I don't even have to shake it. I don't know why I'm shaking it. And just spritz it on there. Now I wanted to show you something, how also it helps with wrinkles. So this hand, I've not put any rose water on it or anything. This one I have. You can tell the difference between the two hands. Now watch. Almost immediately, I go ahead and spray this on my hand, and immediately you can see right there where the wrinkles are just, it's just so soothing. I don't know if it's plumbing. I really don't know the science of it. I just know that I like it, and I like the way my face feels when I use this on my face. And I've had a long, long day, and I like the way it feels. Soothes sore throats. It's a good thing to do. Again, it's all natural. That's another reason you want it in the refrigerator, because when that cold, if you got a sore throat and the cold rose water goes on the back of your throat, just open your mouth really wide, spritz it in there. It's going to feel so good and soothing going down your throat. Again, you know, it's an all-natural product, so it's not going to hurt you, but great for sore throats as well. Okay, let's see. Let's go into another video, and I think we're on video number 5. We'll be right back. Okay, so I wanted to show you the process and how this works. So you can see just a little bit of a fog kind of coming up right here. And it also happens in the, see how I lifted that up? Even though that's boiling water, fog is coming out of it. So that is how, and I'll get a spoon so you can kind of get a grip of what I'm talking about. This will cause the roses right here to be more concentrated for that rose water. Now I'm also going to make rose tea out of it. I'm going to go ahead and put this down. And by the way, These, you saw how red these were when I first put them in here. When they're colorless, that's when you know it's ready. Okay, so it's not reached the boiling point yet, but I'm keeping the ice on top of it. Again, I'm making a fog out of it. Okay, so let's just kind of hang around. I'll stop the video right now. In just a few minutes, we'll be back and we'll get to the boiling part of this as well. Okay, we'll be right back in just a few minutes. Now, I had to replace the water several different times, so you really want to keep an eye on it. And if you'll put it in the roses and the water in a big stock pot, something that sticks way up, you're going to find you'll have a better time with it. Don't put it in something too small; it'll boil over, and you don't want that to happen. You're losing all kinds of really neat ingredients and then anti-inflammatory products there as well. Now, we talked about also how rosewater helps prevent and treats infections. So I wanted to read this to you again. Again, this is from healthline.com. Rosewater has powerful antiseptic properties which can prevent and treat infections. And again, that's another reason why I get little scrapes and stuff like that. I get infections easy. So I like to just, again, I'm doing it again. How many times just in this past, say, 32 minutes have I sprayed some of this rosewater on me? I do it. One reason I love to smell it. It smells so wonderful. Oh, and by the way, that fragrance stays with you. And let me tell you something else you can do. Your pulse points are right here in your wrist and also down at your ankles. Anywhere where you've got a curvature as well. Right here on your arm, right there inside, not the elbow, but on the inside of your arm is another great place. In the summertime, keep some of this with you. Maybe find a little small spritzer and keep it in your handbag, keep it in your purse, and just spray it. It just, it'll smell good. You're going on job interviews or you're going to meet a client, you'll smell really nice when you walk inside, especially when it's hot outside. I don't think we're going to have to worry about that for the next few months, by the way. It's supposed to be super cold. Okay, so we talked about how it actually fights the infections. And then a study, remember this, one study was found that when rosewater was used in eye drops to treat several eye product or eye cases, its antiseptic properties helped in treating the disease and of dry eyes, contains antioxidants, heals cuts, scars, and burns. Now let's talk about number 7, how it enhances mood. Because the rose water can have strong antidepressant and anti-anxiety properties. A 2011 study found that the extract of rose petals can relax the central nervous system in mice. This resulted in antidepressant and anti-anxiety effects. Number 8, relieves headaches. Rosewater and rose essential oil are commonly used in aromatherapy to help relieve headaches. Now, this may be due to the de-stressing effects discussed in the section above that we just talked about. One study found that the vapor of rose water can soothe headaches. Another option is to apply a compress soaked in rose water to the head for 45 minutes for positive results. Okay, number 9. It has anti-aging properties. Let's talk about that. Why everybody's going to sit up and listen to that. Rose water is often found in beauty products aimed to reduce wrinkles. That's because it may actually have anti-aging effects. In addition to soothing irritated skin, it may reduce the appearance of wrinkles when applied topically. Now, another thing you can do with rose water, I have some makeup on. You can actually spray rose water over your makeup and not mess up the effects. You can do this all through the day, especially when it's severely hot outside or severely cold outside. Cold weather is, people say, well, I don't go lay out in the sun in the summertime. I don't want wrinkles. You got to be careful being outside in the wintertime too, because I'm going to tell you what, that's kind of harsh to your skin. So all you do is just spritz it and then just smooth it in. See, it's not even messing up my makeup. And it smells heavenly. Again, that's just another great thing right there. It has anti-aging properties. Number 10, it soothes digestive problems. Okay, in folk medicine, and by the way, I used to make fun of this stuff. I used to make fun and say, well, that's just an old wives' tale, whatever. No, this stuff is somebody spent a lot of time making sure that we were educated in this and we should have listened. Okay, number 10 soothes digestive problems. Now, in folk medicine, rosewater has been used to aid in digestion and reduce digestive upset. According to a 2008 study, there is some evidence that rosewater can positively influence digestion and relieve digestive upset. It may also improve bile secretion, which can further aid digestion. Now, years ago, Brad was about 2 years old. I had hepatitis. And so the doctor thought it was probably from maybe drinking some water that had been setting out, or from the birth control pill, and found out later it was from taking the birth control pill. And so what was happening is my face was turning, I was yellow all over. I itched like crazy. I thought the end had come. I really did. I thought, boy, I better make sure the end is near. Is what I thought. The end wasn't near. So things were okay. I just thought I was dying. But it was happening with the liver. So I still have to kind of keep checking my liver, even though it was that long ago. And what happens is the bile collects inside your the liver is an extremely important part to your body, and you got to take good care of it. And so I'm going to look and read some more, to study a little bit more on that. Could this help people that have hepatitis? I don't know. It's all natural. I mean, it wouldn't hurt to try it, would it? So unless you're allergic to, heaven forbid, you're allergic to roses in some way, then you probably wouldn't want to try it. Let's go ahead and look at another video. I like this one right here. Listen, I think yeah, we
Okay, so I wanted to show you the process and how this works.
While you're looking at this,
so
right here.
you can see just
The
a
ice is
little
extremely
bit
important,
of a
and I did
fog
have to
kind of
change
coming
about-
up right here.
about
And it
4 or
also
5
happens
times,
in
I think.
the, see how I
So let's
lifted
go
that
ahead
up?
now
Even though that's
and
boiling
look at
water,
video
fog is coming
number
out of it. So,
6.
okay, so here's the finished product of the rose water. And we'll go in a little bit of detail as to what rose water is good for. And I'll have to tell you, it's good for everything. So I wound up with more than 2 of the 64-ounce jars of rose water with everything that I did. And you can see that real pretty color to it. It's just a beautiful, gorgeous color. You can use it for all kinds of skincare applications and much more. So I went on ahead and bought a bunch of these, and these are little spray bottles. I actually wound up with more. I gave Mother a pint of this to take home, and then some of these ready for, I've given away a couple. And but I want to show you real quick how it works. It's beautiful. It feels so good and smells delightful. So anyway, this is the rose water, and this is how it turned out. I think it did really well. And oh, and by the way, once you open this, it will keep for 6 months in the refrigerator. But probably what I'll do is just maybe divide it up and put it into pint jars, and just going ahead and do a water bath. And then I'll have some in smaller containers I can always give away as Christmas presents. Okay, hope you enjoyed it.
Now that's a lot of rose water. It sure is. But I put up a lot of it, and I wanted to hurry up and get some of the rose petals in before we had the frost. You know, the frost coming up this week, and which was kind of cold outside. But I wanted to show you can't see. I like to use dark bottles. I just feel like products last a little bit longer when you're using a dark bottle, especially if you let it get in the light very much at a time. But I just wanted to show you the color of it. Now, if you buy rose water and it is deep red, I promise you they've added some food coloring in it, because you saw the amount of red roses I used on there. Now, if you use a pink rose, it's still going to smell good. It won't have much of a color to it. It's going to be almost a white color. Now, another thing is, if you make your own rose water, you'll know you've done an exceptional job when those red roses turn white. And they almost feel like some kind of tissue paper. And they're really soft to the touch. And I've been meaning to look up, like, could you reuse that for something? I bet you could. So I'll do some research, and we'll have another show about that sometime. Okay, and we talked about how the rose water soothes your digestive problems. Now, another thing, let's talk about, and we got plenty of time. Okay, so let's talk about forms and doses. Now, you can buy rose water. You can make rose water, buy or make it. It's really easy. Again, it took several steps, but I didn't have to just sit there over it. I mean, I was doing other things while I was making the rose water. So you can apply it to the skin topically on its own, or you can mix it up with moisturizers if you want to, or natural oils like coconut oil. You can do that. Oh man, does that go into your skin? It feels so good. You can also use rose water to make rose water tea or rose petal tea. These improve hydration, improve skin, provides skin benefits, treats digestive distress, and soothes a sore throat. Now let me tell you how you do that. So what you want to do is get equal amounts of sugar. You want your rose water, you want to make that first, okay? So make it exactly like I did the recipe up here. You want to get equal amounts of rose petals, and then put water just enough to cover the top of the petals. And then you want to boil it. Now, then what you want to do is when you drain this out, if you really don't want any rose water, but you want rose tea, that's good inside and out. I mean, so that's good for your inside. And so what you'll do is make a sugar water. Now, the way you make a sugar water is equal amounts, okay, of your rose water and sugar. Now, you can use brown sugar if you want to, just to kind of give it that little bit of a molasses taste to it. I just use white sugar. I haven't tried it with any of the commercial sugar substitutes, so I really don't know what to tell you. And I couldn't find any recipes on it, so apparently it doesn't turn out that well, or you'd see recipes of it as well. Now, the longer you cook the tea, the rose water with the sugar, you want it to be almost like a thick syrup. So you're going to have to kind of keep an eyeball on it. And it may take a good, couple of hours for cooking. But before you do that, before you make the tea, you want the water to set on those rose petals overnight. And you'd think it's going to ruin, but it doesn't. Now you can add a little bit of alcohol to it. I make my own vanilla flavoring, and I use vodka in the vanilla flavoring. So I added a couple tablespoons in this big pot I had now of vanilla flavoring, and that's going to help it also to last longer. You can use lemon juice if you'd like to do that. Some people use baking soda. The only thing, baking soda will give it kind of a little fizz-like. I've tried that before. I don't know, it had a taste to it that I didn't like. It was okay, but not like using it natural like this. If you're going to use anything, you don't want to use vodka in it. It cooks out, by the way. You're not going to get spazzed out or anything. But if you'd rather not, you can use vinegar. Now, the vinegar is going to give it a take, kind of like a little bit of a almost salad dressing tasting like. Does that make sense? But if you use lemon, be careful how you use the lemon. Don't use too much of it, okay, because the lemon is going to just take over. Now, there's variations of this. If you don't like roses, I'll tell you another one that's really good to use as a water and as a tea, and that's lavender. Lavender is awesome. So I have just, I've been rooting, I have 125, I think, plants that I'm rooting, lavender plants. I'm going to have this like lavender field out here. We live on 38 acres, and so I'm going to have a lavender field. And I want to tell you, it'll grow really good here because it's a sandy loam-like, and so it's going to love the sand. Plus, there's a lot of rock, and lavender is almost like a desert plant, and it's something that you would find in Italy. Wherever they raise grapes, vineyards, that kind of thing, they usually raise lavender as well. So we got the perfect property here for that. So I'm anxious about doing that, and I'll let you know how that works. Anything you use that's an all-natural flower, I recommend. Now let's go ahead and talk a little bit more, because I'm going to run out of time if I'm not careful. Okay, now, forms and doses. You can make a tea out of it if you'd like to do that. Oh, by the way, if you make a tea out of it, it's going to be just a little bit thick. We use a couple of tablespoons in our vinegar and honey solution we do every morning with a little bit of cinnamon. And it tastes good, and it kind of gives you this extra boost of energy as well. And everything in this is all natural. Nothing has, we don't use chemicals to get rid of bugs, none of that stuff. So everything is totally natural. So what you'll want to do is do a water bath with it, okay? And you want to seal those jars. Now, it's all natural, okay? So it's not going to last as long as something, say, from Walmart or something would last. Because, again, no preservatives, no nothing in it. So if you're going to make the sugar water out of it, and what you'll need to do, sugar syrup, you'll need to keep it in the refrigerator. If you don't, it's going to mold, okay? I mean, it just is. It's going to do that. Okay, now let's talk about potential risk, okay? So rose water is considered to be safe. There are no known risks for the general population to use it, either topically or by ingesting it. The only exception is if you are allergic to the substance. There are some people who are. I'm really glad I'm not allergic to peanut butter, but some people are. So they can't eat anything that has a peanut in it. They have to be careful. Folks who are allergic to peanuts like that have to be really careful where they buy flour, where they buy products that, even if they make everything they do like I do, they still have to be really careful. So if somebody's coming over to my house, I have to ask, are you allergic to peanuts of any, anything like that? Because I've got to be careful what I feed my friends. Okay, now let's talk about how to use it. Again, you can find this just where I found it, healthline.com. That's healthline.com. Now you can purchase rose water or you can make it yourself. Make it myself. Once you have it, there are a number of different ways you can use it, including the following. You can use it as a facial cleanser or a toner. Just rinse your face with rose water after washing with your normal cleanser. Now, I like to use lye soap on my skin because what it does is it exfoliates your skin. And I have tried products before after I would, a commercial product. After I would actually use my lye soap, I would feel this kind of a little tingling-like sensation. You won't feel it with rose water. So it'll feel really good to your skin. Okay, also use it in recipes such as hibiscus iced tea with rose water. Boy, this is something fancy. This is something some of the fancy restaurants that Phil and I would get invited to when I was with the Chamber of Commerce and had my show would have rose water tea, hibiscus tea. I'm going to be raising some hibiscus too, by the way. Create a rose water mist by adding it to a spray bottle like I've been doing. This can help relieve stress. You can mist the rose water on your wrist, face, or even on your pillow. So can you use rose water to treat acne and other skin conditions? You most certainly can. Rose water is a liquid made by steeping the rose petals in water or distilling rose petals with steam. What I did was distilling with steam. It's been used for centuries in the Middle East, but rose water has 5 properties that support its topical use in the treatment of acne. It's an anti-inflammatory, it's an astringent as well. It's an antiseptic, an antibacterial. It balances the pH. It has antioxidants. So, rose water as an astringent. So astringents are commonly used to cleanse the face, dry out oil, and tighten the pores. Rose water, which is rich in tannins, can have a tightening effect on your skin. It's also not as drying for the skin as alcohol-based astringents are. Okay, rose water is an antibacterial. Rose water's antiseptic properties can prevent and treat infections. So a 10/20 study confirmed the antiseptic properties of rose water. Another 2010 study concluded that rose oil is a highly effective antibacterial killing that kills a bacterium linked to acne. Rose water and skin pH. Plants have to have a proper pH. So do we. We do too. According to a 2018 study, your skin has a pH of 4.1 to 5.8. Rose water's pH is typically 4.0 to 4.5. A 2018 study published in the journal Current Problems in Dermatology suggests using skincare products with pH of 4.0 to 5.0 as it can minimize skin irritation and intolerance. Okay, why am I going on and on and on and on about rose water? Because it's good for you. It's something you can do. You can save a lot of money. Now you can buy it somewhere online and pay $20 for something like this. Have your own roses, or if you have a friend who has roses and it's about to become a frost and you know that she's about to lose her roses or his roses, you can make your own. And like again, go back and watch this over and over again. You're going to see how easy this is. Now, how to use rose water on your skin. Okay, remove excess oils. So what you'll do is moisten a soft cotton ball or cotton pad in chilled rose water and dab it gently on clean skin. It can also help remove extra oil and dirt that remains on your skin after cleansing. And you know something, you don't have to rinse this off. That's another awesome thing. I'm using it for a toner and I don't rinse it off. You know why? Because it's natural and that's what you need for your skin. Okay, so if you regularly tone your skin with rose water, that can help prevent the formation of acne caused by clogged pores. You young girls need to be using this. Plus, rose water is less drying on your skin than alcohol or chemically based skin toners. Now, hydrate and restore pH balance. Got to have that somewhere in the middle effect, you know? So fill a small spray bottle with rose water and use it to spritz your face. How many times have I done that just in this hour show here? You can gently spray it on your eyelids. Leave it on your eyelids for like 5 minutes, and it's going to soothe those dry, puffy eyes. Now, let's do the takeaway on this, okay? If you have acne, there are many reasons to consider adding rose water to your skincare routine, including its properties as an anti-inflammatory, an astringent, and an antioxidant, and also helps you to keep up with the pH balance of your skin. One more thing, let's see if I've got time for this. Uplifting hydrating power of rose water mist. Okay, forget buying the dozen roses, use water mist. Mist to improve skin barrier and reduce water loss. It's easy to blame cold water for dry skin, but air conditioners and heaters can also dry out your skin. If you wear contacts and it's drying out those contacts, it's drying out your skin as well. So just spray rose water anytime you want to. Use it to reduce anxiety. If you're going to get out there and you're going to perform, you're going to sing, you're going to do whatever, spritz a little bit of rose water and that'll take good care of it. My name is Donna. Thank you so much for watching Donna's Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You may also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications and Abundance Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Don't forget the podcast is really great. TheNewscasters.com. TheNewscasters.com. And if you would like more information, you want me to do some research for you, I'll be glad to. Donna at Donna'sEdge.com. The Hatter Cafe and Country Inn is nestled in the northeast corner of Alabama the Beautiful in the delightful town of Mentone. We're located on top of scenic Lookout Mountain near Little River and DeSoto State Park and located only 5 minutes from shopping and restaurants. There is also a nearby community walking path and golf course. We welcome everyone through the doors and we are committed to outstanding service for all guests. At the Hatter Cafe and Country Inn, we invite people from all walks of life to come and get away from it all, enjoy the open spaces, treetop views, fresh, clean air, and experience Southern hospitality at its finest. We look forward to hosting you. To reserve a special event, or if you would love a special getaway at the Country Inn, you can call us at 256-634-2018.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer
yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
Donna's Designs offers a line of handmade memorial, wedding, and keepsake jewelry that launched back in 1970. I'm a self-trained jewelry designer, and I will work closely with you to create unique designs you can love and treasure for years to come. Whether that be flowers that were used in a funeral arrangement or stones you found on the beach at a memorable trip, call me at 256-659-4319 and let's think of the possibilities.